to young kids wanting to get into manufacturing, or maybe trying to figure out what you're going to do at all, you can go to college, you can work in a restaurant, you can go into manufacturing, you can learn a trade. I would highly recommend trades, especially in the current economic climate. I mean, everybody's going to school, right? Nobody's really going into trades right now, and a lot of people are a lot older in the trade industry, and so they're cycling out, they're retiring, and there's nobody there to fill those positions. So there's a lot of opportunity and vacancy. And I mean, in the United States, manufacturing is a huge part of our economic structure. So the jobs are always going to be there. And if you can find a place where you can make yourself more valuable in that way, you can secure yourself a career for your life to be able to do the things that you want to do and meet the people you want to meet and see the things you want to see. So that'd be my message, you know. I mean, give it a chance.
Welcome back to MTDCNC, my friends. I am in Michigan, and I'm with my buddy Jack today. Now, this is a fun conversation because we haven't prepared at all for this. In fact, Jack was just kind of thrown on camera to go, hey, this is a young guy who loves manufacturing, has an exciting story, and we want to convey that message to an audience, especially that younger audiences may or may not be considering manufacturing. For the ones who are, we might push you over the line. For the ones who aren't, you might just find out how exciting this world can be. Jack has been presented to me as someone who's learning quickly, that has a great future. We're at Rolar Products here in Michigan. So Jack, thank you so much for being a part of MTD. I do appreciate you, and thank you for jumping on camera with me.
Not a problem, Tony. I'm excited. Let's do this.
Well, yeah, this is 100% an authentic conversation. It's a first for me. It's a first for you. So Jack, let's talk about your journey in manufacturing. How did it start, and what are you doing today?
Well, I guess, you know, I kind of fell into the industry, you could say. I was out of high school. I tried a little bit of college, wasn't really for me. I was working in food service, and then I got out of that, and one of my managers was then working at a manufacturing company that he was doing sales for, because he got his degree and stuff, and that's what he was doing. So he asked if I'd come operate, and I turned out to be pretty good at it. I did some engineering and design in high school, some experience with CAD, and so I could read the prints right off the bat, which wasn't really usual for people walking in on the floor and stuff like that, or beginner operators. So I just caught on really quick. Yeah.
When you talk about being able to catch on, and you mentioned the software side of things and reading prints and the CAD side of things, were you also a tinkerer on like motorbikes or anything on your car? Or is this more like a video game side of things where you got real creative?
I mean, I like video games, don't get me wrong, but I've been a tinkerer my whole life. I mean, as a kid, you couldn't stop me from building with Legos all day. Working on cars. I help my mom with her mopeds and stuff like that. She restores old Honda Sprees, you know. So, I mean, I've always been very mechanically inclined. It's just kind of part of who I am, I guess.
So this did almost come second nature to you. It's just, instead of a car, it's now a machine.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's now a $500,000 machine that I'm tinkering with now, yeah.
Kind of like your cars, right? $500,000 cars?
Yeah, just, you know, standard.
More
two
or
or three of them in the garage, yeah.
So when we're looking at these machines, one of my favorite parts when I was doing my machinist side of things was taking a material, whether it's a tube on one of these Swiss machines or whether it's a block of material, and knowing, okay, I purchased that block for $50 or $100, whatever it might be, and then turning it into something that I know is a component that's gonna either help the world or be fun for the world or whatever it might be, and that part is now worth $500 or $1,000. Do you enjoy that aspect as well? And what else do you enjoy about manufacturing?
I do enjoy that aspect. It's nice turning something raw and what you wouldn't think of as worth something into something that's objectively, you know, worth something that somebody will pay you money for. I'd say that my favorite part about manufacturing is there's a lot to know. The biggest part about my job is that I'm aware of how much I don't know and how much there still is to learn. And I'm excited to learn and grow more in the industry, partly for my own personal satisfaction, but I also really like to be helpful to my coworkers and to management and to my boss and stuff, and just be more valuable to the company. So as I gain that knowledge, it just allows me to help those around me more, to have answers to questions, to be able to succeed and make things happen.
You really are the best type of employee based on that answer you just gave.
I'm trying,
We
man.
need more of you across the board. That's amazing. So as you just mentioned about learning, the ability to grasp that concept at such a young age like you have, I started in machining similar to you. I've now traveled to over 50 countries around the world, and I'll let you know right now, working with some of the lead engineers from SpaceX to Samsung to Tesla to Oculus Rift and everything in between, and garage shops and people growing things, you are 100% correct. I'm still learning something new every single day. So that aspect of what motivates you is going to be extremely important moving forward. Now, with that being said, is there a message that you could give to the younger audience right now who either is just getting started or maybe doesn't even know much about manufacturing, to go, give us a look, this is why we like it, this is why we do what we do, to maybe go, now I want to get into it too, thanks to my buddy Jack Northman.
Okay. Man, to young kids wanting to get into manufacturing or maybe trying to figure out what you're going to do at all, you can go to college, you can work in a restaurant, you can go into manufacturing, you can learn a trade. I would highly recommend trades. Especially in the current economic climate. I mean, everybody's going to school, right? Nobody's really going into trades right now, and a lot of people are a lot older in the trade industry, and so they're cycling out, they're retiring, and there's nobody there to fill those positions. So there's a lot of opportunity and vacancy. And I mean, in the United States, manufacturing is a huge part of our economic structure. So the jobs are always going to be there. And if you can find a place where you can make yourself more valuable in that way, you can secure yourself a career for your life to be able to do the things that you want to do and meet the people you want to meet and see the things you want to see. So that'd be my message, you know. I mean, give it a chance.
Jack, please don't spike my microphone on the ground, but if there was ever a mic drop moment, that might have been it.
Okay.
But please don't do that.
I won't do it.
To reiterate what Jack just said, because you nailed it, and doesn't really need reiteration, but imagine this to the younger group. No student loans, because you can go into these trades and either companies will pay for it or government will pay for it, and you walk out into a career that you can have for the rest of your life. As Jack mentioned, there's an older generation that's moving out, and it's a good career and it's a good life with good money that goes along with it, and almost a guaranteed job, because we need people like you. We need people all over the country, and this does stabilize an economy also, like Jack mentioned. I mean, you nailed all the points. Just had to reiterate to get all of you guys excited as well. Look into trades is so important. Jack, is there anything else you'd like to convey before I close this thing out? Because you are a real pleasure to have on camera.
I mean, for reference, I'm 27 years old, and 2 years ago I bought my first house, and I'm doing it, I'm making it happen, and it was all with no schooling whatsoever and just on-the-job training. I'm able to support myself and live. So it's pretty awesome.
You mind if I give you a hug on camera for that powerful statement?
Fine,
all right. Guys, that's awesome. This is Jack Northman. I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. Again, this was totally unprepared, totally unscripted whatsoever. Jack, you did an amazing job. Thank you for doing what you do.
Hey, not a problem, man. It was a pleasure.